Welcome to Orlando, Florida, and welcome to Tuesday night's NXT. And what a way to open up NXT as we have Mr. Phenomenal AJ Styles in the building. He has something to say. Let's go ahead and hear him out. Look, Joe Henry announced that TNA titles will be defended on NXT. So how about me against Joe Henry for the TNA Championship? What do you say, Joe Henry? And AJ Styles, I wouldn't say calling out Joe Henry, but asking him if he's down to have a past versus the present of TNA, the face of TNA currently versus, the man who practically rose TNA to the top. We'll have to see what Joe Henry responds to with. For now, we have to move on to our first match of the night. Introducing first, representing the LWO down here in NXT, Psicosis. Introduced to us by Rey Mysterio. Now here, he's been doing pretty good. I wouldn't say he has a title in his near future. Right now, it's still really about laying down the foundation of really, truly finding himself here within the NXT. He's had some nice victories. I believe a couple losses in there as well. But overall, has had a good impact here on NXT. But I do believe it's going to be some time before he can get a title match or win a title in general. Talking about titles, multiple titles on the line throughout this week, as in the main event, we do have a title match. We'll go ahead and, talk about that later. Over on Wednesday's Evolve, of course, we have Mr. Luca Crucifino, another NXT Heritage Championship title defense. He's been defending those weekly ever since Evolve premiered. And then in the main event of Evolve, the WWE Evolve Championship is on the line. Jackson Drake against Harlem Lewis. We'll see how that match goes. Over on Friday Night SmackDown, I don't believe there is anything. However, this Saturday is Saturday night's main event. Surely, throughout the course of the week, especially on Friday Night SmackDown, we'll be able to find out a couple more matches that will be on that Saturday for Saturday night's main event. We already have some confirmed. For example, Penta versus Trick Williams. Let's see, for the Intercontinental Championship, we have John Cena versus Uncle Howdy for the WWE Championship. We have Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker for nothing. However, loser comes back down to NXT. So it's going to be interesting Saturday night's main event. However, that's to come until later this week. For now, we are here on Tuesday night's NXT. We have we have the winner of LFG Season 1, Jasper Troy, facing off against Psicosis. It's going to be a challenging match for both superstars. Psicosis going to struggle potentially on the physical side. He still is a very strong guy. On the other hand, Jasper Troy may have a disadvantage with the lack of experience. I do think as young as this Psicosis is, of course not the original, but this version of Psicosis is still quite young. I'm not exactly sure his exact age, but he does have a lot more experience. He's had his time in AAA and over in the indie scene as well. So I would say he has a little bit more experience than Jasper Troy, but just size-wise, look at him. Jasper Troy has that advantage physically, which could mean both have a disadvantage, both have an advantage. Maybe it levels them out, which should give us a very nice match. Just at the moment, Psicosis with some nice big splashes onto the body of Jasper Troy. A nice little leg drop right there as he's going to go ahead and look for the pinfall. 1, 2. However, a kick out at 2 from Jasper Troy. We have interesting weeks coming up, of course. You have your regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday shows on Raw, NXT, Evolve, SmackDown. Of course, this weekend we have Saturday night's main event. Next weekend we do have Bash in Berlin and the women's only PLE Evolution. Things are gonna look good for that. I believe it is this week. You know what? I'm gonna shut up because again, I still don't know the exact dates. But what I am sure about is that this weekend is Saturday night's main event. That's for sure. Cancel out the other crap because honestly, I'm not sure. Mr. Triple H should be switching things around. Anyhow, Jasper Troy able to escape the hold of Psicosis right there. And I did say we'll talk about the main events later. We'll just go ahead and blurt it out now. The TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line. The Elegance brand, the current TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, are going to go ahead and put their titles on the line against the Metaphor. That is right. Ash and... I forgot. Oh, I believe it's Ash and Heather by Elegance. The tag team champions over TNA will defend their championships against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. That to come in the main event as almost a no-brainer. They didn't even have to question if there was anyone else here. The top tag team here on NXT by far is Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. So when Joe Henry announced that TNA wanted to defend their championships here, Ash and Heather instantly already set up the match for it to be the Meta 2. The other Metaphor, I like to call them Meta 2. The Meta 2, because, I mean, they were just the top team, the team that could truly give them a challenge, the team that could truly, you know, show TNA what NXT has to offer, and vice versa for any of those TNA fans who still haven't caught up with WWE and are still not watching WWE. This show right here, right now, could be the one where they come over, they watch the main event, and they see that both talents are phenomenal from either brand. As Jasper Troy looking for the pinfall. 2. Kick out at 2 from Psicosis. But yeah, that's to come in the main event later tonight. And, well, we heard from AJ Styles. He wants to go ahead and challenge Joe Henry for the TNA World Championship. That would be an incredible match. Again, it would be the current face of TNA against the guy who overall is the face of TNA. Total non-stop action. Well, it was, I wouldn't say made alone by, you know, AJ Styles, but he definitely carried them to rise to a certain level that's, I don't think people like Samoa Joe and others could have done so. Well, if that match does end up happening between Joe Henry and AJ Styles, and then AJ Styles goes ahead and wins the match, as far as as far as I know, that would be his 3rd TNA World Championship. As when he was over in TNA, he did win it twice. He won another 3 World Championships when TNA was affiliated with a different promotion, NWA, as AJ Styles won that NWA World Championship 3 times, but we're counting the TNA Championships, only have won that twice. But maybe there's some history that I don't know about. Some, Jasper Troy looking for the pinfall. This may be it, actually, for Psicosis. Yes, it is Jasper Troy with the victory over Psicosis. A powerful slam to end the match. What a big win for Jasper Troy. Big win over Psicosis. Congratulations to Jasper Troy. We'll keep talking about what I was saying. I'm not sure if there was some, unification of titles or whatnot. As far as I know, AJ Styles has 2 TNA World Championships to his name. If this match happens and he wins, he could get a 3rd. That means he would take the TNA World Championship to the main roster. That would be incredible. We'll have to see what Joe Henry responds to. We have Javon Evans. Let's hear him out.
Look,
Now that I've gotten past Shawn Spears, I want to go ahead and call out Elia Park. I want to go ahead and get another NXT championship match because I believe that this time I can beat him. Elia Park ready to respond. Let's hear him out. Mira, Javon. I have seen what you've been doing, and while technically you did take a loss to Shawn Spears, I know that you very well know you could have beat him that night if it wasn't for his cheating ways. So, you know what? How about me and you next week? My NXT championship on the line. However, if you lose, you can't challenge me anymore. What do you say? Fine, let's do it. Javon Evans calls out Elia Park. Elia Park responds. Looks like we're going to have a championship match next week. NXT championship on the line. However, if Javon loses, he can no longer challenge or face Elia Park for the NXT championship. As long as Elia Park is NXT champion, at least in this current reign, I believe, Javon Evans cannot challenge for the title. So it's a big risk. It's a big gamble. Javon Evans on one side, best case scenario, becomes the new NXT champion. Worst case scenario, I would feel like until Obafemi gets back, he's not going to be able to challenge for the title. Because I do believe the only person who can beat Elia Park is Obafemi, maybe Javon Evans, maybe Ricky Saint. I mean, there's a couple there, but they have to be on their very good days, and Elia Park being on a bad day, and even then that would be difficult. So a big gamble for Javon Evans right there, but he's gone ahead and taken it. It looks like next week we will have the NXT championship on the line. Elia Park versus Javon Evans, where if Javon Evans loses, he can no longer challenge Elia Park as long as he's champion for the NXT championship. But we now move on to our next match of the night. We have JC Jane, part of Fatal Influence. Surprised that she is not accompanied by the rest of Fatal Influence like Jasmine, Nix, Fallon, Henley. She's here on her own, but those tricky ladies, I wouldn't be too surprised if they were hiding somewhere waiting to get involved. However, her opponent, the hips don't lie, Lola Vice, is in the city here tonight, continuing to start the grind as she now realizes, thanks to Thea Hill, the new North American champion, that she needs to grind week in, week out if she wants to win those number one contenders matches, if she wants to become champion. So here it is, Lola Vice, JC Jane, our next match of the night. Next week is looking to be a good week. Hopefully we hear from Joe Henry in response to AJ Styles challenging him for the TNA World Championship. Then we'll go ahead and have Javon Evans versus El Hijo de Elia Park. That would be phenomenal as Lola Vice is quickly going to look for the pinfall over JC Jane. Can she put this match away early? Not yet, as JC Jane able to kick out at one. Lola Vice definitely has the potential to be a future world champion over in the main event scene. However, I do feel like she needs a couple titles down here at NXT before she feels confident enough and before she truly feels as though she's ready enough, not only to make the move, but also to just start searching for bigger championships, maybe like the United States Championship, Intercontinental, and then eventually the World Championship. Lola Vice has a lot of work ahead of her, but she is not one to give up, and she has a lot of talent, especially a big talent, being very fast learner, so very adaptive to her environment, Lola Vice, which will definitely lead her to success in the future. At the moment, though, it is JC Jane, maybe not for long. Lola Vice able to counter now, sending JC Jane straight into the turnbuckle. Puts her on the top of the turnbuckle. Lola Vice is looking to do some big damage here over JC Jane. Picks her up and slams her down. Big damage done whole body of JC Jane has been shook, and Lola Vice looking for the pinfall. 1. Kick out. JC Jane still has a lot of energy left. Still has a lot of gas in the tank before Lola is able to get the 3 count. Gonna go ahead and shake them hips a little bit. Now JC Jane trying to take advantage of that little distraction from herself. However, Lola Vice quickly able to stop the attack from JC Jane. Now sending JC straight into the turnbuckle. Gonna go ahead and look for the pinfall once more. 1. Another quick kick out by JC Jane, as I'm not sure if Lola right there is trying to waste the energy of JC Jane by having to work a little harder to continue to kick out, especially after some big hits done, or if she genuinely thinks JC Jane will be beaten that quickly, as much as JC Jane at the moment isn't one of the top gals here on NXT. Just like Lola, she truly has the potential to be a NXT champion, a future world champion. I mean, the possibilities for these ladies are endless, especially here in the hardest, biggest, best women's division in all of wrestling down here at NXT. Definitely the best. So Lola Vice continued to do some big damage over JC Jane. JC Jane able to get up quickly, met by a big boot from Lola Vice. JC Jane with a big kick, returning, and now she may be able to win the match. 2, but a kick out at 2 from Lola Vice. Unfortunately for JC Jane, that huge boot to the face was not enough. Now looking for the finish. JC Jane is countered, and now Lola Vice, big leg drop. Lola Vice may be able to win the match right here, and she's gonna go ahead and look for the finish. That may be it. JC Jane may be out. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Lola Vice able to win the match here tonight over JC Jane. And while JC Jane had her little chance right there with a huge boot to Lola Vice, Lola able to kick out at 2, change the tempo, change the flow, shake her hips, swing her fists, and go ahead and get the victory here tonight. Congratulations to Lola Vice. Vice City is going to be very happy here tonight. Congratulations to Lola Vice. As we are now going to go ahead and hear from Cora Jade. She did a little face-off with Zoruka, who just lost her North American Championship. Let's go ahead and hear her out. I was going to challenge Zoruka for her North American Championship. Unfortunately, she did lose it, but you know what they say, stab them while they're down. So Soul, you have one more title. That is the Women's Speed Championship. So how about next week you face me for that champion? Zoruka wants to interrupt. Let's hear her out. Look, Cora Jade, you want to try to take that title away? Sure, try. Just because I lost to Thea Hale does not mean I'll lose to you. So if you want to face me next week for my Women's Speed Championship, let's do it. Are you truly down? Hell yeah, I am. Let's do it. And it seems like we have yet another championship match for next week. Cora Jade, Zoruka, WWE Women's Speed Championship on the line. And uh-oh, is this who I think it is? Ricky Saints has returned. We have not seen this man since he lost his NXT North American Championship to Cutler James. But here he is tonight. Ricky Saints, the absolute revolution, is here. Ricky Saints has returned. And I wouldn't be surprised if after a couple of weeks of building back his confidence, taking that rust off, he goes straight back for a rematch for his North American Championship. There was rumors that Ricky Saints would be heading up to the main roster, but not yet. Ricky Saints is back here, has returned. Again, we haven't seen him since he lost his North American Championship. So here tonight, he may have some rust. But Ricky Saints is Ricky Saints. This man is phenomenal. And his opponent here tonight is going to be Extreme Tiger, who has done a phenomenal job of in-ring action. However, he has one problem: getting the victory. He does good against every single one. He's done against every single one of his opponents. I believe his first match was against El Hijo de L.A. Park. Took him to his limit. The current NXT champion was taken to his limit by Extreme Tiger. However, he just can never get the victory. I believe he hasn't gotten a win here on NXT. And, I mean, what a time to get a victory if he does get it here tonight against someone like Ricky Saints, former North American champion. That would be a great look for Extreme Tiger. But, again, his in-ring work is phenomenal. His skills, his talents, that is, that's not something that you can discuss. He has that. However, he misses that final piece of the puzzle to actually be able to put the victory away and win the match over his opponents. So we'll have to see who comes out on top. Will it be Extreme Tiger, still searching, if I'm correct, for his first victory here on NXT? Or will it be the returning Ricky Saints, former North American champion? As a reminder, this weekend, Saturday night's main event, we already have John Cena versus Uncle Howdy for the WWE Championship confirmed. We have Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship confirmed. We have Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker. No holds barred match. Loser comes back down to NXT match confirmed. We have Penta, the Intercontinental Championship, on the line against Trick Williams confirmed. And surely over on Friday Night SmackDown we'll be able to confirm a couple more matches. So make sure you guys tune in this Saturday night's main event, as Ricky Saints at the moment on the attack. Big stomp right there to the hand, maybe even the arm of Extreme Tiger. Now dislocating the arm of Extreme Tiger. Big damage being done by Ricky Saints. And now a big knee drop from the absolute Ricky Saints, who's quickly going to look for the pinfall. Is this going to be enough to be able to get the victory? Not yet. Kick out at one by Extreme Tiger. However, the attack from Ricky Saints is going to continue. Maybe not for long, as Extreme Tiger now looks to get on the attack. And he does, sending Ricky Saints flying. Now Extreme Tiger going to go ahead and pick up Ricky Saints. He's going to go ahead and hit a clothesline. Another. And now scooping. Oh, okay. Ricky Saints dropping him to the floor. And now Extreme Tiger is going to go ahead and look to fly right here. Big splash onto Ricky Saints. Climbs the top rope. This man moves at the speed of light. I gotta talk so fast just to keep up with his actions. Spinning drop throw. What the heck was that? I don't know, but it worked. Extreme Tiger showing his skills as Ricky Saints heads outside of the ring and catching his breath, recharging a little. So referees counts. Well, surely won't even be able to get close to 10 before Ricky Saints gets back in. He gets the 4. Ricky Saints has caught his breath, gets back in quickly. It's Extreme Tiger with a clothesline, and he shows like a little X symbol. Maybe like, this is it, this is done, this is finished. That's what it seemed to me. I couldn't quite hear him. The crowd is ecstatic. They are so happy to see Ricky Saints back. So Extreme Tiger able to counter right there. And as I was saying, surely he'll look to get a rematch for that North American Championship. Extreme Tiger missing his shot right there, able to get it done the second time with a nice little kick. And now Extreme Tiger is countered by Ricky Saints. Ricky now with a nice little elbow drop. As a reminder, we do have the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line. Ash and Heather by Elegance go ahead and put their TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line against the Meta 2, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. That to come later tonight in our main event. It's Ricky Saints at the moment. I'm seeing I would like to say a new side of Ricky Saints showing less mercy to his opponents, being a lot more well, destructive to the body of his opponent. And maybe this is what he learned on his time off, that he showed some mercy to Cutler James when Cutler didn't. Maybe that's what cost him the match. Because Ricky Saints right now just absolutely destroying the body of Extreme Tiger. The referee's count getting to 8. Both superstars realize they don't want to end the match like that, so they both hop inside, Ricky Saints quickly with a big kick. Big boot to the face of Extreme Tiger. Was looking for the pinfall, not able to get it done right there. As Ricky Saints is going to continue his attack, sending Extreme Tiger straight in to the turnbuckle. Now awaits him as Ricky Saints may be able to put this match away. May be able to put Extreme Tiger away. Is this enough to get the victory? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is. Ricky Saints, the Absolute Revolution, has returned. And he has returned with a victory. Unfortunately, another loss for Extreme Tiger. Still not been able to find his place here on NXT in the sense of finding victories. Another win for Ricky Saints as he returns. And Cutler James, you better watch out because Ricky Saints will surely be coming for you soon. Now we have Masha Slamovich, former TNA Knockouts World Champion. She has something to say. Let's go ahead and hear her out. I gave Jordynne Grace the opportunity at my TNA Knockouts World Championship. She beat me fair and square, and we'll get to that later. But for now, I am asking Zaraya, how about you give me the match I deserve and put your NXT Women's Championship on the line? Zaraya ready to answer. Let's go ahead and hear her out. Look, Masha, you went ahead and asked for a title match? Just because you give a title match doesn't mean you deserve one. But because I know I'll beat you, how about me and you next week for my title? What do you say? Perfect. Let's do it. And oh my days, another championship match for next week. Masha Slamovich against Zaraya. Women's NXT Championship on the line. We also have Enrico de Elia Park versus Javon Evans for the NXT Championship. We have Zoruka versus Cora Jade for the Women's Speed Championship. And we'll be hoping to hear from Joe Henry. That is going to stack up to be a phenomenal NXT. I mean, you could even call it NXT Night of Champions because there's already 3 championship matches next week set up, and we still have 1 championship match to come here tonight in our main events. Things are stacking up and looking beautifully here throughout the WWE and here on NXT, as we're now going to go ahead and focus on our next match of the night. Introducing first, Kalani Jordan. She's a former North American champion, I believe 2-time if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am. I'm not 100% on that. Don't quote me. Her opponent, though, Shotzi, who has been in phenomenal form, been having multiple matches, multiple victories. Shotzi here tonight against Kalani Jordan, who will come out on top. To find out right after this match. I'm excited because this is technically the co-main event. After this, we have the main event. Meta 2 versus the Elegance brand. TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line. That is going to be phenomenal. We have championship matches today, tomorrow on Evolve, next week. I mean, Saturday night's main event. What a couple of weeks to be a wrestling fan. And this is only the beginning. We still have Bash Berlin, a women's only PLE Evolution coming up. We have Saturday night's Carnage, Bad Blood. I mean, there are so many PLEs coming up to end off the year strong. It is bound to be a fantastic time for WWE Universe and wrestling fans as a whole. We're now going to go ahead and focus on this match. Shotzi, a little bit of a crazy maniac, but she gets her job done inside of the ring, so, you know, that's what matters at the end of the day, facing off against gymnastic acrobatic Kalani Jordan here, the co-main event of tonight. Who's going to go ahead and get the victory? Will it be Kalani Jordan or Shotzi? The referee rings the bell. It is time to find out, and quickly look at Kalani Jordan. It looks like she heard me showing her acrobatic and gymnastic abilities, showing that off against Shotzi right there and showing it off to the WWE Universe. Kalani Jordan has been in search of titles. I mean, I understand everyone is looking for titles, but Kalani Jordan did have that opportunity as she faced Zoruga back when she was North American champion. Kalani Jordan unfortunately failed. Now there is a new championess. Congratulations to Thea Hill. She worked her butt off practically every single week having a match, and when she wasn't having matches, she was still here watching, taking notes, afterwards going to the performance center and just grinding. Thea Hill worked her butt off, and it surely paid off as she was able to crown herself the new Women's North American Champion over at NXT No Mercy. Now Zoruga only having one title. She went from being a double champ to now one title. Next week, she could lose that championship against Cora Jade. If it's already in her head that she lost once, her mental state may not be the strongest. That may allow Cora Jade to come out on top of a big, phenomenal splash from Kalani Jordan. Shotzi able to kick out quickly, but showing her athleticism right there. Big splash of Shotzi, still able to kick out though. But as I was saying, after one loss, Zoruga's mentality may be like, yo, I already lost, like, this sucks, whatever, like, just, and I wouldn't say depressed, but definitely in a down, bummed out mood, which could give the advantage to Cora Jade, at least on the mental side. On the skills, both women are phenomenal, and that would be something else, but maybe that is what gives Cora Jade the advantage, or maybe Zoruga is a friggin' thug. She says, alright, I lost one title, that's fine, I still have one more. Let me make sure that someone like Cora Jade doesn't take it away. We'll have to see as next week we already have 3 championship matches confirmed. We hope to hear from Joe Henry responding to AJ Styles. We'll have to see what happens. There's Kalani Jordan gonna look to fly once again. Able to do so, sending Shotzi flying. Gonna go ahead and look for the pinfall once more. 1. Kick out at 1. Shotzi kicking out. Excuse me. Kicking out very quickly. That's really, you know, I mean, it's not her job to give Kalani Jordan the satisfaction of a 2 or 3 count, but it seems to me as Kalani Jordan is throwing so much shots, he's still able to kick out right away at once. So maybe also playing some mind games, even if it costs her to really kick out that early. Maybe it starts bringing down, you know, Kalani Jordan saying, yo, I'm throwing everything I have at her. It's not working. Shotzi interrupting Kalani Jordan, who was climbing the top ropes right there. Excuse me. However, Shotzi now able to get on the attack. Thankfully for her, she has taken quite a bit of damage here tonight. Kalani Jordan able to counter though. 2 big boots pushing Shotzi off. Now could Kalani Jordan gonna look for a nice little double axe handle. And now looking to fly once more. Nice little frog splash. Gonna look for the pinfall. Is this enough to push Shotzi away? Yes, it is. Shotzi able to kick out multiple times.
Here is your winner.
At the count of 1. Maybe that was just her working a little too hard to only get the 1 count. Maybe if she had taken the extra time to recover, an extra second She could have gone a little longer, but nevertheless, Kalani Jordan did a phenomenal job throwing everything at Shotzi. And here tonight, able to get the victory over Shotzi. Congratulations to Kalani Jordan over the victory. And now, it is time for the moments we've all been waiting for. I know I've been waiting for this moment. This is the main event of the night. Introducing first the challengers. The team of Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, the Meta 2 CNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line. As much as I hate to say it, these ladies right here have failed multiple times to become WWE Tag Team Women's Champions, as the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez have just been ahead of it. However, they did have a best of 7 series matches where, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend show their levels that they can compete with the likes of Raquel Rodriguez, with Liv Morgan. They're just missing a little bit more of chemistry, of maybe creativity, of experience within the ring to really win as a tag team. But, after a great best of 7 series over Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, even though they lost, they surely gained a lot of that chemistry, a lot of that experience, etc. So here tonight, there is a big chance that they become the new champions. I can't say much about Heather and Ash, the current TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, because I haven't seen them. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to keep up with watching other shows apart from the ones I commentate on. I haven't seen much of these gals. I've seen some promos, I've seen some backstage little shoots, but I've never seen a single match from either of these women, so I don't know what to expect. It could be the same for Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, which could make it tricky for them, not knowing what their opponents are going to do, not able to really watch film or whatever. Could cost them the championship titles and failing to become tag team champions once again. We'll have to see those. Ash by Elegance, Heather by Elegance put their TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line here tonight against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Of course, this Saturday night's main event. As I said before, we have John Cena versus Uncle Howdy, WWE Championship. We have Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Jada Parker versus Roxanne Perez. No holds barred match. Loser comes back down to NXT. We have Penta versus Trick Williams for the Intercontinental Championship. Again, hoping to announce a couple more matches this Friday on SmackDown. We'll have to see, though, what ends up happening. We also have some more championship matches tomorrow on Evolve, so make sure you tune in on Evolve tomorrow. Make sure you tune in Friday night SmackDown. Make sure you tune in to Saturday night's main event. We have an incredible rest of the week, so make sure you guys tune in. But it is now time to focus on this very much anticipated main events. Ash and Heather by Elegance, the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, facing off against the Meta 2, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. Those are the titles on the line. A total non-stop action. Knockouts Tag Team Championships here in the main event on NXT. TNA Superstars, TNA Champions, wanted to defend their titles here. Well, they got it. AJ Styles calling out Joe Henry, and now we have this match. We still have Steve Macklin, who has a title. We still have Moose, who has his X Division title. So there are still other champions looking to defend their championships here on NXT. So definitely stay tuned to see if we can hear from Moose, from Steve Macklin, etc. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's also some TNA superstars who are searching for WWE gold. We already saw Masha Slamovich call out Zaraya. That championship match confirmed for next week. Wouldn't be surprised if we see someone maybe like Mustafa Ali, Matt Cardona. What if they come back? They come here to NXT searching for some WWE gold. I would not be surprised if that happens. So we'll have to see. So make sure you guys tune in. At the moment, Lash Legend absolutely tearing the house down with both Ash and Heather. It's now tag made to Jakara Jackson. So the legal superstars, Heather and Jakara. Is Heather quickly going to take advantage of the big, strong monster of Lash Legend isn't in the ring anymore. Jakara Jackson's still a big woman, not in a bad way, like a strong built woman, but not compared to Lash Legend, which does give a little confidence to Heather and Ash when Jakara is in, saying this is our time where we have to shine, because against someone like Lash Legend, well, of course, her physicality is going to beat both Heather and Ash, maybe even combined, as we see the strength and the power from Lash Legend right there. Big boot to the stomach of Heather, who has taken a lot of damage very, very early on to this match. She surely needs a tag already, as Ash, apart from being attacked from Lash Legend outside of the ring, is practically spotless on injuries. I wouldn't say fully fresh, but a lot fresher than Heather. Tag is made. They hear me. They're hearing me. They got the earplug in, listening to my commentating. They know how great it is that they can take my advice. Oh, look at this. Ash by Elegance showing no fear against Lash Legend, going in for the attack. Unfortunately for her, Lash Legend quickly stopping her, and now it is back to Lash Legend being not only in control, but on the attack. Is now tag made to Jakara Jackson. Big boots to the face of Ash by Elegance. Is now Ash taking lots of damage, and now so is Heather. Not even the legal superstar, but she is taking damage. Jakara Jackson is dropped as she was trying to climb the top ropes. Unfortunately for her, Ash goes ahead and interrupts her. And did see Heather swing throw right there. Not sure if it connected or not, as Ash was looking for a submission right there. I believe the tag has to be made inside of the ring, as far as I know, so she would have not won the match right there. Not sure if she was just trying to waste the energy, or maybe TNA has some different rules that I don't know of, as Ash is crawling, potentially searching for a tag. Lash Legend interrupts, not allowing Ash to make a tag, as she's going to continue to get beat down by Lash Legend, and things are looking good for the Meta 2. They are doing big damage to both Ash and Heather, not allowing them to tag, so that both of them are frustrated, are beat down. Things are looking very nicely for the Meta 2 at the moment. On the other side, the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions are going to have to pick it up if they want to successfully defend their championships here tonight, as Ash is sent into the turnbuckle. Lash Legend going to do some damage. No, she is countered. Now Ash with a big knee to the face of Lash Legend, and she is now on the attack. Big smacks to the face and body of Lash Legend, who is now able to counter, picking up and slamming down Ash by Elegance, now looking for the pinfall 2. Oh, kick out at 1, almost 2. Unfortunately for Lash Legend, Ash was able to kick out right there. Tag made now to Jakara Jackson. Jakara's going to look to climb the top ropes. Going to look to make a big splash. Big knee drop to the face of Ash. Now looking for the pinfall. 1, 2. Almost gets the 3, but Ash able to kick out at the very last seconds. However, Jakara Jackson isn't finished. She continues to be on the attack, now sending Ash straight into the turnbuckle. No, she is countered. Instead, it's Jakara who is sent into the turnbuckle, and now it is time for the Elegance brand to get on the attack. Big boot to the face of Jakara Jackson from Ash, who's still not looking to tag in Heather. That could potentially come out to be a mistake, especially after all the damage that Ash has taken in this match. Dude, they might actually have some like speaker or something, some headphones in their ears, hearing me out. They make the tag, and now Jakara Jackson gonna look to take advantage of this, as I wouldn't say fully cooled down, but Heather hasn't been inside of the match in a minute, so definitely not as hot as when she started the match, and allows Jakara Jackson to hit a huge diamond cutter onto Heather by Elegance. Jakara Jackson not finished. She wants to put an end to this match. Not yet. She's instead gonna look to tag in Lash Legend, who roars in the face of Ash, and now may be able to put this match away. Lash Legend looking to put the final blow. Unfortunately for her, Heather out of nowhere picks up Lash. Oh my days, picking up Lash Legend and dropping her. Knee straight to the back of Lash Legend. Even though Lash is able to counter right there. What a show of strength from Heather, who is now fighting back from Lash, trying to escape the hold, able to do so. Lash Legend. First of all, let's talk about Jakara Jackson. Could have won the match. Instead, look for the tag to Lash Legend for her to get the final blow. And what a second win from Heather by Elegance to be able to not only get back up, counter Lash Legend, but also pick her up and slam her down almost. That is incredible. However, things not looking too good, as Heather is still very beat down. Just because she had that, a little bit of attack does not mean that suddenly she's back to 100 health. She is still very beat down from both Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. She can continue to fight back, however, again, that does not change the fact that she has taken a big amount of damage. As Lash Legend looking to pull her onto the top of the turnbuckles. What is Lash Legend trying to do right here? Lash Legend with a big splash of swords. Oh my days, Jakara Jackson sends a steel chair into this match. What are they trying to look for? Referee, thank goodness, quickly spots that. And now Jakara Jackson running outside of the ring. I think she's going to go attack Ash by Elegance, and she does. As there is now a brawl on the outside of the ring. Lash Legend may be able to put an end to this match once again. Countered by Heather, pinfall, 1. Kick out at 1, and there is a brawl going as Ash versus Jakara Jackson outside of the ring. I think Jakara thought that Lash could have put the match away right there, making sure that Ash wasn't there to break the count. However, Heather was able to counter right there. Big smacks by Lash, and now a big uppercut right there. And maybe this is it. Maybe Lash Legend can secure the victory here as Jakara Jackson has taken care of Ash. Can Lash Legend become TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions? Yes, they can. The Meta 2, Jakara Jackson, Lash Legends, the new TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions. They have beat Heather and Ash by Elegance here tonight. Congratulations. And thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all over on Wednesday nights. Evolve.